Hi guys, hello Mary to everybody, it's MicheleMarieDalene, and of course today is the 18th of 2019. I just got back from my doctor's appointment. I'm doing okay. Statistically, my numbers haven't changed at all, really. The weight's about the same. It didn't go up by much, maybe by 2 pounds. But the other numbers, my health, my other vitals are good. But I kind of saying to myself is, I really kind of wish that I could really come down in certain numbers. And unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen because, well, I just don't see it happening. And Fame the cat is doing good. He's growing his fur back. For a while, he was really looking pretty bad. I thought he was going to die. Personally, when Dusty left, Fame took it hard. He stopped eating. He didn't clean himself anymore. He didn't give a shit. He felt like crap. He didn't sleep with me. He wasn't doing anything. And then finally, after I started giving him the attention that he really so much needed, the equivalent of a kitty hug, he began to bounce back, and he's growing his fur back now. He still looks a little bit scrawny, but he's getting some better build on his body, and he's growing his fur. So now he's doing a lot better. I'm happy to see that. He's 18 years old, by the way. Yes, Fame, the white and brown cat, is 18 years old. One of my neighbors was talking to me about my cat today. Again, she said, because I'm allergic to cat hair, can you please sweep the hallway more regularly? Because your cat likes to lay by my door, and his fur makes me break out. And it's like, yeah, I know. She said he's starting to look better, but he still looks sickly. I said, well, yeah, he's growing his fur back now. He is starting to do better. But here's the funny thing with Fame, though. It's in the fall he grows his fur and he starts getting all poofy. It's not the summer. And by early spring, he starts to get this thicker coat. There's Rusty. Hi, Rust. Big cat. The big one. The big boy cat. He's right here. I'm not talking about Fame. No, Fame is, I think, out in the hallway again. As far as why does Fame like to hang out by the door? Because another neighbor has been nice enough to feed him canned food, and which is good for him. So he does get benefit. A lot of people feeding him. They've been feeding this guy too. And the problem is this guy doesn't need any more food. He's like a giant Garfield, and frankly, he looks just like Garfield would look if he was a real cat. Big cat. Okay. You see me show Rusty on his camera a lot. He's just a big cat. I wanted to mainly cover something that in the news that I personally kind of wonder if the people in the White House are really giving much thought to. As you know, California has its own emission standards, and several states follow them. The California standards were established in the 1970s. They're much more stringent than the federal standards. And it was agreed to allow California to maintain their own guidelines. So like 14 other states have adopted. And the California standards are very strict. So he's saying this is, well, if we all have one mandated standard that's not as tight, maybe we can go ahead and lower the cost of production for vehicles. And it would. But the problem is the reason why California originally created those standards in the first place was specifically they were concerned about air quality in California. And they were set specifically to make sure that the vehicles were making less pollution for the health of the California residents. So other states thought the standards were much better than the federal official minimum. I call them minimum standards because the federal standards are kind of a bit less restrictive. So I would personally say, Mr. President, I would do the opposite. Since I know you and I both agree that global warming is a farce. I do not disagree that climate change is happening. Climate change is happening. It's just not warming. And because of that, there is a need to keep in mind that everybody likes clean air and clean water. I don't care about the tree huggers yelling, we gotta watch the environment and all that. I mean, first of all, let's take a look at the environmental concerns, such as clean air, clean water, clean soil, is definitely important. That's why the EPA was created. It never was created specifically only to focus on anthropogenic climate change, which is really not even an issue. In fact, several research sources indicate that that is fraudulent system of evaluations. But what is not fraudulent is that if you start increasing the particulates and pollution in the air, you increase smog. And smog sucks, okay? Look at China. China has some pretty subpar emission standards. And people in China get very sick because of the air quality. So we don't want that. We don't want polluted water. We want clean water, we want clean air, and we want clean, healthy soil to grow clean food. Because remember, what's in the soil and air is going to end up in our food, and that's going to make us sick. But, so I would say, Mr. President, that maybe instead of telling California to go stick it up their, you know where, because of their situation of fraud. It turns out that has to do with fraud. Of course, California is very rightfully upset. Hey, that's not fair. This is what we've agreed on since the 1970s. You can't do that. I have to agree with California here. Why? It would be better for you to adopt their standards as the new minimum, because with new electrical vehicles, they don't even have to worry about it because they don't use an internal combustion engine. They don't make carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide emissions. They just make nothing, at least in the vehicle. I can't say that the charge the batteries doesn't make nothing, because that certainly does. But, so yeah, I think that's kind of stupid. But, I think also we need to look into other things that we can do as a country. Oh shit! I don't have to sneeze. I thought I did. I was gonna sneeze. So don't have to. Anyway, so the point is that clean air is important. Climate change, and we're all getting colder. Tonight it's gonna be down to 4 degrees Celsius. It's only September 18th, and it's going to get down to 4 degrees. Holy shit. That's as cold as my refrigerator. You really think about it. I can put my milk outside, and it'll stay good for the morning. Well, I got other things to put in the refrigerator too, but the temperatures in the next few days are going to be mild. It's not going to be significantly too bad. But this winter is going to be nice for me. If you are a summer person, go to Florida or go to the West, because that's where it's going to be warmer again, based on the trends regarding the La Nina, El Nino, ENSO, and everything else. It's going to be a very nice western weather. It's going to be warm this summer or this winter, and the summer is going to be, well, the summer is almost over. It's almost over, guys. 22nd of this year. Summer's over, autumn will be here, and it's already started to notice it. Now, what that also means is that my electric bill is going to go lower because of no air conditioning. This month will probably be, because the amount of air conditioning that's been on has been very low, it obviously will drop a lot. what about the new convenience store that's being built between CVS and McDonald's? Well, the gas island on it is they're putting the canopy on it, and they already had put some shingles and siding on the outside of the storefront. And now, obviously, they're going to have to start working on the interior and get the electricians in, HVAC guys, sheetrockers, and finish the interior up. But it looks like it's taken so long to build it. I'm actually surprised how long it took to build this. I think a lot of it had to do with legislation and permits more than anything. Speaking of permits, Louis Rossman from the Rossman Group is still looking for a storefront. He had been checking out a couple choices, and the one that most of us say we think was a better choice was the one which is the former hardware store in Midtown, because that has a lot of the pluses that he was looking for. The problem what it is that the realtor was nice enough to go down to $13,900 a month, to $13,900 a month. And he's going, well, technically it's worth about $15,000, $20,000. And of course he said, I really would like to try to have as low as rent possible. And it's like, Louis, look, it's in the middle of downtown Manhattan. He said, well, what I'm concerned about is the demolition clause. Which means basically if they're going to decide to destroy the building, I'm going to give you 9 months or 6 months to get yourself out of here. So he's like saying is, if I have a 10-year lease and they have this demo clause, then what happens if I'm here for 3 years, they sell the building for scrap? Then I am out of luck, because now all the work that I invested in building my shop and everything is going to go into the trash bins of history. Yeah, okay, I get your point. But I still think it's a lot better than the restaurant. The restaurant, everybody loved the restaurant. I thought the restaurant was great too. But because of the situation with the former food waste, the former grease, the cockroaches, the location is on the edge of the city. It's only near the L train. It's like, okay, this isn't going to work, because now you're not going to get the kind of destination customers that you get when you're in Midtown with all those trains right there, including Penn Central. So that's the reason we all said, Louis, you really should go with the Midtown Manhattan location, because it's going to be better for you. It's going to be less expensive to renovate it and get it ready to go. Sure, the demolition clause is a red herring, I agree, but the location has its value. And what the fact is, you're going to be increasing the number of repair customers coming in. You're going to have more revenue coming in to offset the higher rent. You're going to benefit for this. And then, of course, like I said, it's thing that's become very popular on this channel, by the way, in Louis Rossman's channel, has been the real estate videos. I'll be honest, I watch them. My eyeballs are stuck to the damn phone. I love it when he pulls out his electronic measuring tape and he's actually comparing the square area of the actual property with what the realtor said their property was. And watching their faces when they say, hey, wait a minute, you said this is 1,500 square feet. How come I'm only seeing 800? And they're like, and then they keep like backpedaling on, hey, wait a minute, it also says the basement's included. You add the basement in, you add this in, it comes close to about 1,200 or so square feet. Well, I'm not sure the basement's included. What? Wait a second. It says in the listing basement's included. Well, I'm not sure. I got lots of other properties. BS. Anybody? I'm actually seriously thinking about doing a Louis Rossman next time I rent another apartment. Say, hey, landlord, you said this apartment is bigger. Oh, how many square feet did you say this was? Whip out my measuring tape. Oh, gee, it's actually a little smaller than that. Gee, how come? But see, the one thing about residential real estate, I think in some ways, in some states, it's even more crooked than it is for commercial real estate. Except the difference is that our rent stays pretty static. It usually only goes up about once a year. Some landlords like mine has kept it locked in at $700 now since I've been here for about 14 years. I haven't had to worry about my rent going up. But someday it's going to go up. And for a lot of reasons. Okay, first of all, his taxes are going up. His gas is probably going to start going up. His expenses are going to go up. So eventually he's going to offset these by saying they're going to increase the rents to help make a steady income on this property. Because this is his main, these apartments, not just this building, he's got a few others, they have become his main source of income. And so, yeah, eventually my rent's going to go up too. And I also looked into, should I relocate? Well, might as well talk about that. Some of the stuff that affects me affects Louis Ressman. Okay, some of it doesn't. Here's what affects me. I don't have a car. As far as I know, Louis Ressman doesn't either. Louis Ressman, I don't even know if he can drive. I have no idea now if he can drive or not, but I can't. I'm legally blind. So for me, the moving expense would be, I still have to get a truck. I still have to pay movers. I still have to pay my existing landlord his rent, and then pay the first month's, last month's security for a new apartment, transfer all the utilities over, and you add in all the numbers, depending on how far away it is from where I am now, it can be anywhere from about $1,000 and up. If I go within the same state, it's going to probably be definitely at least $2,100 because I do have to pay the truck, first month, last month's security, transfer utilities. If I move out of state, it's going to go more because of obvious reasons. I'm going to have to establish new deposits in my electric and my gas, my phones. Yeah. So, Louis, I'm watching your show like a fox because as an apartment renter, I'm kind of wondering the same thing about landlords or rentals or apartments. Are they doing the same kind of baloney and screwing us in the process? Now, I can take a quick rough measure using his Bosch measuring tape, say, aim right here at the windowsill, point it straight at my green screen across the room. Then I can put it here and go straight and bounce it off the wall in the bedroom or vice versa. And I will get an idea of my area of my entire apartment, minus the internal walls, which obviously take space. And each of those, but 8-inch thick walls. 6 to 8 inch thick because they're older building. Give me an idea of the interior of my house. And I can tell you right now that this apartment is no small place. Unfortunately, I don't have a fancy measuring tape like that, but I have measured my apartment in the past, and it's pretty good size. It's like 464 square feet, which is actually not bad. It's not huge, but for a one-bedroom person, it's fine. As far as the phone that's acting up, which is the same one as this one, this phone doesn't even have the same problem. So I'm wondering as if there's something inside the board that's gone bad that I've got to fix. The problem is getting these phones apart is a pain in the ass. It's not just a matter of taking out all the screws. This one, and then there's here, and then there's one other one I think over here in the corner somewhere. And yeah, there it is. And then when you do take it apart, I've got regular standard caps. I don't have any surface mounts. But like Shango 0966 shows is that a lot of the surface mount electrolytic caps in the 90s tended to leak badly with corrosive electrolyte that would potentially cause some bad damage to the PC boards. So, if I'm going to recap that one, I might as well recap all the other phones too. But that's something I'm going to work on in the future, right now. Now, my case, what about the mattress? Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm thinking to go with the lower cost mattress. I'm thinking that 1970s style, pattern, plaid, groovy, 4-inch thick foam for $70 is going to be, for me, less of expensive than to go and get the bigger, thicker inner spring. I'm a fat person, so inner spring mattresses do not survive. Well, they do, but the thing is the pillow tops on it, they take a killing. I want something that I can basically lay on and contour my body in a comfortable way. Remember, I used to sleep on the floor in the yellow house, so trust me, I'm used to hard stuff. But I do like a softer mattress. Not super hard, but kind of firm, but kind of more of a medium, actually. And the foam mattress I had on my twin bed was beautiful. It was like a medium. It was like I would sink into that mattress. It was luxury. From something from the 1970s, it was not bad. I didn't have a problem with it. But unfortunately, when I went to a full-size bed, the twin mattress was worthless. So it ended up being thrown out along with the old box spring and the bed frame and everything else. And so it was just a reason to upgrade it. But yeah, I mean, for that price, is not bad. What about the other things? I mean, there's so many things I would love to cover. I don't know about some of the other stuff. And here's why. One, do I want to buy a new video card, or would I rather buy something like that encoder thingy I showed you or told you about, where it takes composite or HDMI input, streams out as RTMP, and it's a standalone turnkey solution, web interface. Therefore, basically, you program it, you set your default. When you're ready, you'll go on there, you go into the website, hit start, and go at it. And the reason I say that is because, one, if you have that, I could stream using the Mac Pro or Power Mac G5 in the bedroom. I can stream on this phone, on this computer here. I can stream directly from this camera to the internet and forgo the computer completely and not have to worry about the computer. And that would save me a lot of steps. In fact, independently, it also would mean that since it runs on 12 volts DC, a small portable 12 volt power source, and plug it into my Wi-Fi dongle, and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, I am on the air. I am streaming on my Wi-Fi Vonets dongle to my T-Mobile Internet Wi-Fi, and I'm ready to go. That would be faster, cheaper, a little more clumsy, but in a way it would be better because it also has HDMI input too. So I can take that thing and plug it into this existing video card with a display port to HDMI adapter, and I don't have to worry about replacing the video card. It's about the same price as the video cards I've seen for the Mac, and except for the cheap ATI HD5770, which is pretty mediocre by today's standards, because there's only 1 gigabyte. But yeah, it'll still do it. Remember, I like having modular approaches to things. I like my apartment, my studio is like a Ruby Goldberg contraption. If you ever seen this room, you've ever seen the way it's wired, you would laugh your ass off. Everything is plugged into everything else. Sound systems, microphones, cameras. This camera here is looping through this computer, or through my Power Mac G5, which is then looping it through to the Mac Pro. That's why there always seems like there's a slight latency in the video. That's why. Whereas the sound is going through this microphone I'm wearing now, not this one right now, this one's not on, to the Shure M68 mixer, to the Behringer Q1202 USB, then through the an analog output going to both the Mac Pro and through my stereo goes into my Power Mac G5. Thus, theoretically speaking, the two computers could technically be streaming independently of each other. They are actually totally independent. They don't. In fact, this mixer can be selected to go straight into the stereo, straight into the bedroom, or I can go like I do. I have it plugged into the Mac Pro, and it's kind of kludgy, but works. Okay, I don't really see any reason to change it at this point. It's working. It's some ways to me it's better than all-in-ones, because if you have all-in-one, if something goes wrong with the hardware, then you're going to have to replace the whole thing, and that's going to mean, especially if it's a computer, means you're going to have to worry about your files and all that bullshit. If it's standalone boxes, you can just replace the box and get back on the feet. And it's cheaper too. Everything in my studio is analog, so there's never been a real reason to go integrated. It's just the way I was taught. It's some ways my today's specs is old school. Everything in my studio here is right now, it's got transistors in it. However, I still want some vacuum tube gear. I keep telling myself, and I keep saying to myself, gee, when are you going to buy that vacuum tube power amplifier? Or when are you going to build the one you were going to build? What happened to that project? What happened to that fire release project? I kept getting furloughed. Well, okay, maybe someday it'll happen. But this coming November, it's clothing, and maybe one computer thing and a mattress. I'm still willing to listen to your comments. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say thank you for those people who have put out positive comments. I did get a few nasties, but one of the nasties actually kind of made me laugh, and so I let it stand, because some of the nasty ones are actually hilariously funny. But I didn't block anybody, so if you think I blocked you, no. Are we having a live stream with Sarah? Yes. And how long is it going to be on Sarah? I don't know. But I do know that, we are going to, me and Lumi have talked about this, and we're going to work on making better content, and we're going to keep working on it, and we're going to best to try to improve everything. Right now, like I said, equipment-wise, for the most part, we're set. We don't need any more microphones right now. We don't need another camera. We don't need another computer. Maybe some improvements in some of the smaller things. But honestly, for the most part, this analog camera is working fine. This is the PAL camera, by the way. This one is the one that's higher quality than the NTSC camera on the other computer, which has me, you can see with a pole on my side. That's because that's where the camera's mounted. It can't help it. It's got a pole there. If I could get rid of the pole, maybe I wouldn't have that. But then again, I need that platform to support everything. So yeah, I'm still gonna have a pole no matter what. Yeah, we got some ideas. We're gonna try. But for now, I'm gonna let you go. Promise me, if this is your first time video watching, if you've never seen this before and you like what you see, you like the changes, please don't be afraid to comment. Please don't be afraid to subscribe. I'm working on the content. I'm going to keep working on improving it. But the live streams, we're not going to do as many because they are they're not very successful in so many ways. In some ways they are, in some ways they're not. But I think having too many of them is just absolutely not working for me. I think one a week is fine. I can tell you, here's the weirdest thing. Even after doing that one live stream, mentally, I am exhausted. Because I'm doing so many things at once. People said to me, you get so distracted. And yes, I do. Because, I'm watching the Discord chat, I'm watching the Restream.io chat, I'm watching the Facebook chat, I'm watching the YouNow chat when I'm on YouNow, and it just really exhausts me. It's just enormous amount of work I do just to keep up with everything. But, hey, I'm making a difference. I'm trying to improve my content. Maybe you don't think it's that great, but you know what? Here's the thing. You got people who do like this kind of content because this helps you. Maybe you enjoy it. And that's great. I love it if you enjoy it. I want you to enjoy it. And obviously, if you really, really did hate it, if you really did, you wouldn't even be here. You would have basically left because you would have said, it's not worth it. But hey, if you do like it, I want you to continue to be on here. I want you to continue to like the shows. I do request that you continue subscribing. It's not going to cost you anything. And if you are a subscriber, do click the bell. Or if you don't want to get a ton of email, invites, or reminders, then do this. Do subscribe, but when you look at your subscriptions like I do, I'll flip through them and see if there's any new content. If I see a little dot next to the channel, I know there's something on there. And I'll just quickly go in there and peek and look at it and see what's out there. If it's something I want, then I watch it. If it's not, I'll just go to the next channel. Keep going down the list. All my subscriptions. That's what I do. But I also have notifications turned on. But like a lot of people have said, it's true in my channel too. The bell fills your mailbox. And if you're mailed with everything else, getting an additional notification from YouTube is just an additional annoyance to have to deal with. So for you, I understand if you just want to go ahead and just subscribe and not click the bell. Or maybe you might select the bell and just receive some notifications. That's fine. Right list? Yeah. So for now, I'm going to talk to you later. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you all probably tomorrow in another vlog. Bye bye for now.